Hello friends, Chris here, ChrisDelaRosa.com. Thanks for joining me here on Food FAQ. Today we're going to talk about the world's hottest pepper, the Trinidad scorpion or the Moruga scorpion pepper. We're going to talk a little bit about the heat, how to handle it, how to shop for it, and how to store them. And at the end of the video, well, let's talk about making a hot sauce as well, the world's hottest pepper sauce. Fresh out of my garden, I've got a variety of peppers here. And I just cut one open. This is your traditional Scotch bonnet pepper. At one point, this was one of the hottest peppers in the world, but we all know there's been some changes recently. This one here is the ghost pepper out of India, and that is the second hottest pepper in the world. The Trinidad scorpion, Moruga scorpion came in and took over things, you know. Inventing rules. But anyway, this here is your traditional or typical Scotch bonnet peppers. We've got the different colors. We've got one over here, one over here. This one here is just a chocolate Scotch bonnet pepper, very hot, but still nothing as close as these guys here. 1, 2, 3. This here is the bad boy himself. Handling. I should not be handling this with bare hands. The oils on the outside of this pepper can be dangerous. Worst when you start cutting them open. So what I would recommend doing, number one, wear gloves or at least cover your hands with a coating of vegetable oil. Wash your hands immediately after handling these peppers. And also, if you're going to be making sauces and stuff like that, if you're going to be blending it or cooking it into sauces, wear a mask. It is that dangerous. I assure you, it is terrible, 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 terrible. So if these peppers are so lethal, why still use it? There is something about the heat from peppers that people just love. Look at the Caribbean, look at out in Asia. Look at the simple deep fried chicken wings or buffalo wings that you guys are always eating. It has a level of heat to that. And let's talk a little bit about the heat. With your typical Scotch bonnet pepper, and I've got one cut open here, this area here where the seeds are and this sort of white membrane here, that's where most of the heat will be. So if you want, you can cut that out and still get a ton of flavor, but it won't be as lethal as, let's say, if you were to use the seeds. However, with this bad boy, Mr. Scorpion, Mr. Trinidad Moruga, let's cut one open and I'll show you guys something. Every inch of this pepper, every little square millimeter is hot. The seeds area here, I would typically say that is hot, but trust me, if I were to just cut a piece off, and I really don't want to touch it with my bare hands, but that little piece there, it's probably the equivalent of one of these entire Scotch bonnet peppers. That's how hot it is. There is no one area of this pepper that's more hot than the other. The entire thing is lethal. Like, I just took a whiff of it there, and I'm already choking from the heat. Now, when buying these peppers, you want to get a nice shiny pepper. They may be yellow, or you may get them green as well, because they go green first and then they turn into, when they're ripe, they would go into red or yellow. You want to get a nice shiny, almost a waxy sort of finish to it. No sort of blemishes or brown marks or anything. And I think I had a pepper here to show you what I mean. There. See that sort of brown mark? This pepper, I've had this pepper in the fridge now for about over a week or so, and it's starting to go bad. So that area there, I'll have to cut off before I use. So when shopping for peppers, make sure you don't have that sort of brown area or discoloring happening. As far as storing the scorpion peppers, you can store them in the refrigerator. They remain there for a couple weeks, quite good. You can also make sauces out of them, and in the description of the video below, I'll show you guys, I have a video that I made and I called it the world's hottest pepper sauce, and that's what I used. The scorpion peppers, as well as these ghost peppers out of India, as well as some of these chocolate Scotch bonnet peppers. The other option you have is to freeze them. So all you would do, wash them, dry them properly, let them air dry, put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze it. Whenever you want to use it now, you would cut piece off and use it when cooking. The other thing I would suggest doing is to cut it up into small pieces. So if you know, typically you would use a small piece like that. So all you would do is to cut it into small pieces like this, put it on a parchment lined cookie sheet and put it in the freezer. The reason why, but put them separate, so separate pieces. You may want to just put them all in a Ziploc bag, but once they go in a Ziploc bag, they will clump together, freeze, and then you're stuck with big pieces, a big clump of peppers. Put it on a parchment-lined cookie sheet, let it freeze. Then all you would do is take off the frozen pieces of pepper, put it in a freezer bag, and stick it in the freezer. It will last. I have Scotch bonnet peppers over a year in the freezer, and they're still as kicking and lively as ever. And this here is the pepper sauce I was talking about, the world's hottest homemade pepper sauce, made with Trinidad Moruga scorpion peppers as well as ghost peppers. All kind of flaming things went in there. Chris here, Food FAQ, ChrisDeLaRosa.com. Always a pleasure to have you guys here with me. I love sharing what I know, and I'm sure you guys can benefit from my little know-how and my experiences. So click below, subscribe. You're going to get all the latest videos sent to you. Today we spoke about the Trinidad Moruga scorpion pepper, how to handle them, how to store them, and how to shop for them. As well as in the link below, in the description below, I'll have a recipe on the world's hottest pepper sauce.